What we're going to do here today is we're going to set up DHCP service, but we're going to use that on a server rather than on the router itself. We do need a couple of hosts, so we'll just put a couple in one VLAN over here and another VLAN over here. So I'm going to separate this out. This is going to be VLAN 10, this is going to be VLAN 20, server is going to be VLAN 30, and this is going to be a web server out here. So that sounds good to me. If it sounds good to you, it sounds good to me. Let's go ahead and get this wired up. So DHCP, kind of in a nutshell, we got that DORA process going, right? Send out the discovery message, get the offer, there's a request for an address, and then there's the acknowledgement that gets sent back and forth. DORA for DHCP. All right, cool. Let's get the DHCP set up here. I did say that we're going to do 3 different subnets here, and here's what we're going to do. 10.0.30.1 is going to be our host, our default gateway, and I'm going to rock that out as a 255.255.255.252 as a /30 network. There are better ways of configuring security for this, but in this case right here is as far as I want to go with it, just for the demo. What we are going to do is we'll set up the services immediately, get the DHCP going. We'll say configure this to be VLAN 10's gateway, and we'll change that to be gateway for 10, match the subnet. We're going to go ahead and save it. We'll get the services for DHCP on VLAN 20 up and running. Okay, that's good. And I'm going to leave the service off for now. What we are going to do is we're going to take care of the services over here. And in so doing, what we are going to do here is we'll give the default gateway of 8.8.8.1, and we are going to configure 8.8.8.8 as being a 255.0 as a /24, and that'll be fine. While we're next in line, let's go ahead and get on the router, get stuff taken care of. We'll say no, we don't want that initial configuration dialog. Conf T, and we'll go to interface G0/0/1 it was for the web face, the web site interface here. Let's go IP address of 8.8.8.1, I said, 255.255.255.0, and no shut the interface. We're going to do a ping to 8.8.8.8, and here we go. Come on. There we go. Good. Let's go on to interface G0/0/0. And we're going to start getting those sub interfaces up and running. So we'll get the one for VLAN 10 going. Encapsulation is going to be .1Q trunking, and we're going to tag it for VLAN 10. We'll give it the IP address of 10.0.10.1. 255.255.255.0/24, right? Then we're going to go ahead and get the sub interface for VLAN 20 going. Let's do that, and let's tag it out for VLAN 20. Give it an address, and here it is. And one more, not to be outdone, we will get sub interface for VLAN 30 up and running. Tag it for VLAN 30. We're going to give it an IP address of /30, and let's make sure we get the correct address. Here we go. And now, for the moment, we've all been waiting for it. Interface G0/0/0, and we are going to no shut the interface, and that should be good. We're going to come on back here in just a bit. Actually, we already have the server taken care of, so do ping 10.0.30.2. Oops. Let's go ahead and do ping. Here we go. And it should not work because we don't have VLAN set up here. Okay, let's head on over to the... Oh, we're still working on spanning tree. Let's go ahead and get on over to our switch, and let's get this functioning. So let's start off with the spanning tree link right now with interface conf t. What was that? F06, interface F06, and that's going to be a trunk link anyway. Why don't we go ahead and do that? So switch port mode is going to be trunk. The encapsulation is going to be .1Q trunking, but this particular model doesn't need me to set that. It is what it is. So let's go ahead and switch port trunk, and we're going to allow VLANs only 10, 20, and 30. I don't want the native VLAN popping up here. So do show interface trunk, and nothing is converged yet because I've done it a little bit too quickly, but we can see everything that's allowed. Now that should come back up in a minute. Let's go on back over to the router. Well, we're not going to be able to ping it just yet because we are not set to converge. Let's go ahead and set up on our switch VLAN 10, and let's name it something creative. It's on the left side, so we're going to call it left. Say VLAN 20, and let's name it right. And then VLAN 30, and let's name that server. Okay, do show VLAN brief, and we've got a lot of VLAN stuff going on, but we don't have any interfaces in those VLANs. Let's go ahead and do that. So interface range F0/1 to 2, switch port access VLAN 10, and let's do the same for interfaces 3, 4. Put those in VLAN 20, and for it's not a range, so let's pull that out, and we're going to put that in VLAN 30. Okay, now let's go interface range F0/1 to 5. I'm going to say spanning tree port fast because I just don't want to wait for them all to converge. And now let's go and ping. Let's ping. Do ping to the server, and we have round trip connectivity. That's good. All right, so everything looks like it's all set up. Let's go ahead and let's just verify. Did I set up the no, I didn't set up the laptops. Okay, we're going to kick those over to DHCP. Actually, yeah, well, we'll do it. We'll do it this way. Kick them over to DHCP. Come on. Let's go. And a lot of clicking here today. And we'll go to a desktop, pull up command prompt, IP config, and we've got our self-assigned 169, 152. That's fine. We're going to have that everywhere. Let's go to another laptop in VLAN 10, IP config, and again, it's exactly what we would expect. Now let's turn on that DHCP service, and let's take a second and realize, come on, it's going to go through the process. DORA, discover, offer, request, acknowledge. Takes a second. IP config. Let's go ahead. I'm going to turn off the DHCP for a second. I'm going to kick it back on. Should be working. Oh, I know exactly what it was. I always forget to do this, and I don't know why. So let's go back to interface G0/0/010, and we have to give it the IP helper address of 10.0.30.2. If you don't do this, you can't communicate down to your server. Let's go ahead and do this, and let's do it again for the subinterface of 20 and give it the helper address, and now we should have business happening here. Let's do it. Come on. Oh, we already got it. We got it. That's good. Okay, let's take a look. IP config. Oh. IP config. Come on. Kick it off to static, back up to DHCP, and we're getting addressing. That's great. Why don't we go ahead and we'll pull up a desktop over here, go to the web browser. This should be done pretty quickly. And let's just see if we can't get from our DHCP assigned end host out to the Google website here. Click go. Crossing fingers, hoping. Let's double check here. Do we get DHCP addressing? Did we? We did. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, so that is, in a nutshell, setting up DHCP. so that it runs